I have such a nice selection of scents for today's video, but in the meantime we will have a chat about unique and obsessive attitude Andy Warhol had towards perfumes. He was one of us perfume lovers. Thank you for visiting me today. I have 8 perfumes that I want to fragustate today. I started this segment on my channel because I have some perfumes that I want to review, but I cannot combine them with any particular topic. Plus I can chat about nearly perfume topics and even have a small educational aspect in my videos. So let's begin. Let's start with something nice and light. Chanel Paris-Édimbourg. It's a perfectly freshy scent. Citruses on the start are followed by the notes of juniper, cypress, vetiver. All the fragrances from Les Eaux collection, they are very pleasant, but this one I liked the most last time I had a chance to test them. It's very woody profile, but not the way wood bark would smell, but instead woody like a foliage, like a greenery of Caledonian forest. All Chanel fragrances are inspired by certain places, events, people in Mademoiselle's life. So this one brings us to the Scottish Highland, where Coco spent a few years in late 20s, far away from society life, recharging. It's very soft green eau de toilette. It's not masculine woody scent, but instead it's very fresh and airy, like a forest air. The more I smell it, the more treasures I discover in this forest. I start to feel some berry notes, some mossy notes, maybe a touch of something chilling like eucalyptus or mint. We don't know what exactly perfumers put in this fragrance, and Fragrantica list of notes is not always reliable and complete. But to sum up, I see this scent as a nice woody fragrance with some aromatic facets and some vegetal aspects like forest berries. It's a really nice cloud of comfort and freshness. I'm even thinking I might need it for my collection. I don't have anything of that kind. It's a really good scent, Chanel Paris-Édimbourg. Let's have one more fragrance right away. Dom Rosa, Les Liquides Imaginaires. What a delicious opening with the note of pear. I don't know that many pear fragrances yet. Besides, there is a note of celery that I really like. I like the scent of freshly cut celery. It's mouth-watering. The fragrance is very playful. From this bright, almost sparkling fruitiness, it takes us towards the woody warmth, where we discover the fatty, big rose full of petals and spikes. It has a touch of spiciness from cloves. I have learned an interesting way to smell fragrances. Instead of rubbing the blotting paper on your nose, try to inhale longer. This way you can look deeper into the scent and discover more facets of it. Just like I said, in the heart of the fragrance there is a rose. Well, it's in the name of the fragrance as well, and it's very prominent. The woody base is elegant, warm, with a resinous note of olibanum. The overall mood of this fragrance is celebration. I understand that the note of champagne that is mentioned here, it's mostly for marketing, but still it does feel very sparkling and sweet. Nevertheless, this fragrance follows its elegant and sophisticated path from beginning to end, and it does smell expensive in my opinion. It's so special that I would use such fragrance for very special occasions, and preferably in winter. Despite its overall freshness, I see it as a winter scent. I think it needs this crisp frost air to make it shine. Champagne shall be served cold. I'm not sure if I need the full bottle of this fragrance because I'm afraid I will be wearing it once a year for a very special evening. Speaking about the value and meaning of perfumes for certain stages and occasions in our life, I would like to chat about the attitude famous artist Andy Warhol had towards his collection. It's really fun. He was very particular and obsessed with his perfume collection, and he appreciated the art of perfumery. Of the 5 senses, smell has the closest thing to the full power of the past. Seeing, hearing, touching, tasting are just not as powerful if you want your whole being to go back for a second to something. Unable to record the scent, to capture the scent, but still being obsessed with the idea to preserve the moments of his life, he tried to link his life stages to different fragrances. I switch perfumes all the time, he explained. If I've been wearing one perfume for 3 months, I force myself to give it up, even if I still feel like wearing it. So whenever I smell it again, it will always remind me of those 3 months. By having smells stopped up in bottles, I can be in control, and I can only smell the smells I want to, when I want to get the memories I'm in the mood to have. I'm so fond of his idea to collect memories in the bottle, to have an archive of memories in the scent. Andy was a frag head, almost a frag criminal. During parties he was invited to, he would lock himself in host's bathroom to see which bottles they have there. I'm compulsive about seeing if there is some obscure perfume I haven't tried yet. If I see something interesting, I can't stop myself from pouring it on. Andy. But then for the rest of the evening, I'm paranoid that the host will get a whiff of me and notice. I think as a fragrance enthusiast, we are all a little bit Andy. That's why we love to watch each other's perfume collections. Except that I will never allow myself to touch others' fragrances without permission. And you could have just asked. Let's try something heavier, let's increase the level of difficulty. Laboratorio Olfattivo, Vanagloria. I really wanted to try this fragrance and I like it. It opens very nutty, very gourmand, but overall it's quite far from being a gourmand. Not every vanilla fragrance is gourmand. This nuttiness in the beginning is dessert-like. I have this note of almond here, even though it's not mentioned. I guess it's just the nutty, the yummy side of tonka bean. The opening of this fragrance is so good that I want to lick my skin. Then the main character of this story is vanilla. Very dark vanilla dressed in leather jacket. I clearly smell saffron and leathery facets in this fragrance, and normally I avoid those because they smell a bit too masculine for me. But here the leathery aspect is so nice that I actually like it. It's very rounded, very balanced. It has notes of incense or olibanum, not prominent, but it adds a touch of warmth and smokiness. The dry down is very musky, more musky than vanillic. What I like the most in this fragrance is the direction of vanilla. It's not too gourmand, it still smells like sophisticated fragrance. Thanks to the freshness of saffron with its leathery age and this thickness, darkness of tonka. It's a dense scent, it has the body, it's kind of meaty. I heard many good reviews on this fragrance and I'm one of them, the lovers of this fragrance. It's very good. Let's go for something gourmand. Palo Santo from Carner, Barcelona. I probably dragged it from the corners of my brain, of my memory, but when I smell this fragrance, I have a very clear image. Someone's birthday or party gathering and the slice of almond cake on a plate. I have this obvious and vibrant image in my mind, like a photograph. Maybe this fragrance really brought me to something I experienced once. I don't know, but it smells so familiar, crazy familiar. Despite its mysterious name, Palo Santo, it is 100% gourmand And what I smell the most here is the note of almond, even though it's not mentioned. To be more precise, the almond paste, the marzipan. As I said, to my nose it feels cakey, like an almond cake. There are some lactonic nuances, but sort of cooked. And overall this scent feels like something warm, dense, cooked. It is very delicious gourmand and tonka bean scent, and I'm kind of glad that I discovered it. It can be really nice for autumn. How does autumn smell for you? For me, the most familiar since childhood autumnal smell is the scent of apples. Northern apples are usually very aromatic and crispy. They have very green and fresh scent. I also like the smell of damp foliage in autumn, the leaves dying, a little bit of science. During their last breath, the leaves exhale the number of gases, a typical earthy autumnal smell. These gases are compounds like terpene, one of which is pinene, has a pine-like smell. A certain fungus that is found on every continent in the world helps plant to decompose and create the chemical reaction behind the unique scent we associate with fall. Then the smell of glögi, the Finnish spicy Christmas drink. It can be served with or without alcohol, and for many people it is the Christmas drink. But for me the Christmas is all about the chocolate, the smell of chocolate. Business partners of my office send us chocolate, my husband's family send us tons of chocolate. Christmas is just a sugar coma. But the glögi, the smell of glögi, the taste of glögi for me is autumnal, October, November. And the smell of first snow. Can we smell the snow? Somehow yes. Not only do we sense the humidity, but breathing in cold, snowy air triggers our trigeminal nerve. This nerve isn't a part of olfactory system, but it registers a cooling, refreshing smell like snow in our brain as if it was an actual smell. Everything has an explanation. I'm curious to hear how does autumn smell for you. Leave me a comment, I will be really interested to read about it. Let's take our next fragrance, WULONG CHA from Nishane. Another excellent freshie I can recommend for those who are looking for a nice freshie. Very, very good fig fragrance with what is mentioned to be oolong tea accord. It's very light, very fresh, but it still has a good lasting power and very nice trail. I love it because, first of all, it's simply pleasant, but also it's very, very universal. It can be worn in any season. It can be very refreshing in summer, but also very cozy tea fragrance for colder days. I love its subtle sweetness from fig and its watercolor qualities. Many fragrances, tea fragrances I have tried so far, they are playing with the note of black tea, a bit bitter, a bit dry, but this one is such a light, fruity tea with little lactonic nuances. If it were an actual cup of tea, I would drink one cup after another. It's so addictive. It's very good. A little bit expensive. Nishane is quite pricey house, but I'm still considering to get it. I think I will add it on my wish list. Would be also interesting to compare it to WULONG CHA X because the notes of this fragrance look equally exciting. Next fragrance is gonna be challenging. It's Floraiku Sand and Skin. The difficulty here is that I can appreciate the beauty of this fragrance, but there is one note that I cannot tolerate, Ilang-Ilang. So it's so hard to review this fragrance. When Ilang-Ilang is hidden behind other notes, I can accept it, but when it is prominent like here, I'm repulsed. As for the scent itself, it plays with the idea of the dry scent on the skin on a sunny day. It does have this crisp texture that reminds me of the sand. It's very vanillic and ambery. It smells beige. There are notes of vanilla, benzoin, sandalwood, patchouli. It's very warm and enveloping scent. It's warm, ambery floral, let's put it this way. And I can imagine many people can really enjoy and appreciate this scent, but I just can't stomach Ilang-Ilang. Like all Floraiku scent, it is not overpowering, but very refined and addictive. I like this house in general. I'm traumatized by Ilang-Ilang. Many years ago I traveled to Vietnam and I brought back the glass bottle of body oil with Ilang-Ilang scent. I really liked it, I was using it a lot, but once I accidentally dropped this bottle on the ceramic floor and the whole bottle just broke. There was oil everywhere on the floor. The smell of Ilang-Ilang stayed in the bathroom for so long, and I was cleaning the floor every day, but that much oil was so hard to get rid of. The whole floor was so oily, and it started to mix with other smells in the bathroom. Smell of dirty laundry, of clean laundry, of some other cosmetics that we were using, and it just changed the overall attitude to Ilang-Ilang from something neutral to something very annoying and negative. That's why I cannot tolerate Ilang-Ilang anymore. Next fragrance is also confusing for me. It is CORFU from Memo. Ultimately, it's a musky, citrusy scent. Very citrusy and even more musky. On Memo's website you can see a long list of notes, but for me it smells more simple than it is designed to be. It opens very fruity. I feel citruses, mandarin, lemon. I also get some apple, some pear, some fruity notes. But the performance of musk is so overpowering. Even having one spray on my wrist, I could smell this musky fragrance for the whole day. It's pretty long lasting. I can't say I like it, but I also don't hate it. I love citrusy fragrances. Maybe I'm just not a big fan of citrus musky combination. I would rather go for citrusy woody or citrusy aromatic, citrusy fruity. It's wearable. If I would have nothing else to wear, I wouldn't refuse it. I would still spray it on. It's okay. What I smell the most here is a note of lemon and musk. It's not bad, but it didn't impress me that much. It's above average, let's say. For the dessert, we have something really yummy, a black currant fragrance. It's MELIORA from Parfums de Marly. It also has Ilang-Ilang in its composition, but my nose doesn't register it at all, because the main character of this fragrance is blackcurrant cassis, with its leaves, with its berries. It's very fruity, it's very rosy, it smells like a garden in summer. It's very happy, very energizing, it's a mood booster, very pleasant scent. It's not green, but it's not gourmand either. It's a fruity purple fragrance. The question is, does it cost the price that Parfums de Marly ask for it? It is rather simple, but it doesn't smell cheap at all. It is very refined, very sophisticated fruity fragrance. It's not juvenile, it's really adult fruity fragrance. It's like a high-end cassis fragrance. It's delicate, very nice. Even though it is marketed for women, I believe that men can try it as well. After all, it's just fruity, juicy refreshment. In the end of this video, let's travel back to Andy Warhol's last days. Andy died in a hospital on February 22, 1987, following complications from a surgery. Within the box of personal belongings, carefully packed by hospital staff, was a small bottle of Youth Dew by Estee Lauder. Legend says that a close friend of Warhol dropped a bottle of Estee Lauder's Beautiful into his grave. I start to love this format of fragustation and chat. It is beyond just fragrance review, and this little element of surprise and randomness of different fragrances not combined by any idea. I see a potential in this format. I hope you enjoyed today's Fergustation. I wish you a very good day. Goodbye.